Hi, my name is Siddhi. I've been with Newton for over 3 years. Right now I'm responsible to take care of the business development team as a senior manager. I wanted to become an accountant and that did not work out for me, but I landed with my first job at Lufthansa Group. I worked there for over 2 years. Sooner, I got an opportunity with one of the edtechs and I made my debut there. And right after 1 year, I heard about this news where a startup was, raising funds for about 5 millions, and that was Newton School. And I knew that for sure this was the place for me, so I had to be here. I was one of the founding members of our newly set up business development team when we were just starting off. And I remember having this conversation with Siddharth, who also had taken my interview, and we were initially figuring out what we wanted to do with our product, our learning, our offering. And I was just an individual contributor. And I think with such great exposure, I was able to level up. I became a team lead very soon, right after that a manager, and right now a senior manager. And more importantly, I think, I was always in an uncomfortable zone that always boosts learning. And I think that worked out really well for me. Going back to, my old days when I was an individual contributor, we had a student and he knew about Newton School from very long. He wanted to, be a part of one of our batches, but he was finding it very difficult because he was only making 13,000 a month. That was, a stipend that he was earning. And we somehow managed, we got a few things fixed for him, maybe, some scholarship we offered, and we were able to onboard that student. But the second problem was he didn't have a laptop and he couldn't afford a laptop. And I remember, like me along with others, we spoke to Siddharth, and Siddharth told that, okay, let's sponsor him a laptop so that his studies shouldn't get affected. And we were able to, deliver a laptop to his place. He studied, he worked hard like anything, and within six and a half months or so, he was able to land a job 10 times of what he was earning in a month. And I think that was a very heart-warming moment for everybody in the organization, and of course, personally. We had another student who was running his own liquor business and he went bankrupt. It was not doing well financially, and this student wanted to, do something and get back on his feet. He was very confused. He was exploring multiple platforms. He in fact also booked his seat with one of the platforms, and we were able to, speak with him, help him understand what he really needed, and we were able to fortunately fulfill that, and we made him join our program. Within 5 months, he was able to land a job as an analyst, and right now he's able to, pay off all his loans. I personally feel that when we talk about cloud-based learning or online learning, every other country or continent has already been there. I think India took time, but we're still there, and I think we're able to pull it off really well. And because of the edtech space, I think a lot of people, a lot of working professionals specifically, are able to bridge the gap of choosing different roles, different trajectories, and are able to grow now. So then we had another student who was doing pretty well, in her career. She had just graduated. Right after graduation, she was able to, grab her first job, a nice corporate job. And I think she started working as well. But there was a sense of dissatisfaction that we could sense, because when she came across Newton School, when we spoke to her, we were able to understand that she was not entirely confident with her practical understanding on a lot of technologies, right? So she needed a bit more hands-on exposure, and we were able to, onboard her. We did not know that she would be the top performer of her batch. She worked really hard. In fact, she worked so hard that we also got a chance and sent her off to Taiwan. And she was one amongst those students who made it there, and I think that exposure really helped her. She's very happy right now. In fact, she also referred a few of her friends who have also joined our program, and that just shows that how her career has been able to develop impact and create that impact in her friends and relatives' lives as well. Yeah, so I think that's a very motivating story that you have. I always had that FOMO that what if I don't do it in time, what if I'm not able to clear my exams, whether it's CAT, GMAT, whatever. But right now I feel fulfilled because my last 3 years journey with Newton has been nothing short of an MBA. I mean, every day is a new learning, every day is like a part of your upskilling, because you interact with different stakeholders, different teams, you solve different problems every day, and all of these problems are good problems to solve because we are in an education setup. And upskilling, I think, goes without saying that it's a part of my daily living and a daily role that I have to play here. So I think upskilling is, of course, the most important factor that keeps us going. changing cities can sound challenging and difficult, but I think it adds a lot of exposure, a lot of experience, to your own journey. And yeah, I think no one should be scared of that. At least I wasn't. I've personally realized that number one thing that you should be very strong about would be your awareness. What do you really want to do? A lot of people are perplexed. They don't know what they want to do. They probably follow what others are following. So number one would be awareness, looking into where you fit well and where your requirements fit well. So that awareness should be very important. Number two would of course be doing a solid research. It should not be vague. Now for example, data science, there are millions of options available, but which one is suiting my preference or which one is suiting my requirement is another thing. So that, research plays a very important role. And third is, how do you really, go along with it? So having that mentorship, having that roadmap is very important, and having the right set of mentors to guide you with that is another very important thing. I think these three things will definitely help you shape up your entire career. I think I read it somewhere online that comfort and growth do not coexist, right? So that has worked out pretty well for me. Specifically with my journey at Newton, I was also able to build my own character, my personality, and that solid mindset that, these are certain privileges or luxuries that nobody should be able to take it away from you. So I think this is another thing that people should definitely, take out as advice and build it while they are in it.